We out.
What it do? What it do?
How you doing, bro, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. How about you?
Fantastic stuff. New beginnings, better endings. You know what I'm saying?
Alrighty, alrighty.
So I thought today would be a great time to talk about the one and only last name ever, first name greatness. You know what I'm saying?
Alrighty,
Champagne
alrighty.
Poppy. Listen, now to my knowledge, this is all alleged. I listened to a couple of the YouTubers. I looked at an article, and this is interesting to me. So I want to start it off with creating the incident between us guys, just dudes out here. We ain't millionaires, billionaires, whatever else you want to say, air, right? We're just
Right.
out here working, getting some bread. If you with a chick and you know she a little thought, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no problems with it. And you smash, but she see that you coming up, you making some bread, she liking your moves. And after you smash, you go to the bathroom with the condom and you dispose of it. Said girl goes to the bathroom after you. You know, you don't know, you're in the kitchen doing whatever. And even before this encounter, let's even take it the whole drink extent where you even get essentially a contract. Like consent is your thing. You are making sure this is consent, making sure no one's looking at you crazy, making sure people aren't attacking you for it. No grape accusations. She goes in there, she takes your condom out, and you don't know this until you hear the ah. She's screaming because she burning hot sauce, hell, Tabasco sauce, sriracha
I
sauce.
got I got hot sauce in my bag.
Threw everything in that motherfucker. Some cayenne peppers. And now she's upset and trying to sue you. You as that guy, whether you're rich, poor, indifferent, in the middle, what's the first thought that goes through your head?
Hey, I'm kind of like, wow. You feel me?
Yeah.
Cause it's like, what woman is doing that? Like, why are we doing that in this day and age? Like, what's going on? Like, you trying to get a bag that bad?
Yes, sir.
You trying to get a bag that bad that you are literally going to go in the bathroom, whip it out of the trash can,
Mm-hmm.
and lean back on it. You in the tub off the lean back of the Fat Joe.
Just pull up my pants and do the rock away. Hey, listen. You know they
Lean
try to
back
get
with
their
the
bag,
drip
bro.
done.
They try to get their bag.
It's just crazy. It's like how how does that happen?
Well, you know, and that's where it's funny because now we line this up and as everybody you good. We line this up
That's
as
crazy,
everybody.
bro.
Well, we line this up and go. Well, now we all know we're talking about Drake, and funnily enough, it does vary. I don't even think it actually varies by state. The few states I looked up, I can't remember which, but I do know that when a man ejaculates, his sperm is now considered part of the act. So this isn't any type of rape or assault on the man if a woman decides to take his sperm. And I remember back in the day, and I'm surprised because I'm hearing older men talk about they ain't. I heard of the turkey basters. I was like, what? They were like, yeah, they take a turkey baster and shoot up the club. I was like, a turkey baster? I couldn't look at turkey basters the same. I'm filling them up with water, like, oh snap, this joint really worked. She shooting up
Alrighty.
the club. and so it goes into this. A lot of Me Too movement stuff, which the basis of the Me Too movement I agree with. We get to that in a second. So a lot of the Me Too movement stuff, a lot of the women's rights stuff, a lot of even the FNS talking point stuff. Women are being attacked and men are terrible. Women are being raped on college campuses. I think it was some wild, like 80% of women are being raped on college campuses, even though there's 80% of women on college campuses. The math don't even make sense.
Right.
And I think it's interesting that women are so quick to talk about how they're being assaulted and or taken advantage of, but they never care the opposite way, right? A guy like Drake being sued nonetheless. She's trying to sue the man for how much I don't know, but trying to sue him for her getting burnt in her nether regions, whether it's because of
Uh,
the acid, the acid from the hot sauce. But she's suing him for an act that she took upon herself. Now I'm listening to a lawyer talk about it, and if you booby trap in America, that's against the law. But how is it a booby trap if that's just how I dispose of my condom? If you look up on the internet how to dispose of a condom, they say wrap it up, put it in the toilet. But you also hear other men talk about disposing the condom differently. So, I'm curious. How would you dispose of a condom?
oh, me, I straight flush them joints. They not even around.
See,
They
some people say they
gone.
pick up, right? Now
Hmm.
me, I put my little baggie over my shoulder and take it home with me.
Oh, how mine?
Man,
How mine?
I'm securing the
He,
bag.
how mine? Okay, you on your Johnny Appleseed,
We
huh?
ain't talking about it. You know what I mean?
You on
I
your
would
Johnny
put it.
Appleseed.
I would put it in the dirt. You know what I mean? So you can dispose of a condom any type of way. I had also heard about guys putting Clorox, bleach, and hot sauce in condoms when I was younger. Why I heard about it, I don't know. But guys were trying to
Wow.
protect themselves, right? And I
Hmm.
heard this stuff before, so it all made sense to me. But the fact that we can't protect ourselves, you can't protect yourself from a girl who consents on the night, and because she's drunk, now she can't consent. You can't do anything when if a girl says, you know, it was consensual in the moment, but I regretted it, so now it's great. So my question to you would be a few of them, but let's start with this one. How do you think we should adjust for a situation like Drake's, even for the average guy, which would be more like if a woman were to say she consented and didn't consent. But if you want to keep it in the realm of Drake, just the same situation, how would you, as just an average dude, how would you protect yourself?
I mean, that's rough, man. I mean, that's
Fact.
super rough. How do you even? How do you even? I mean, no. I mean, no guy. No. I'm like, all right. The average Joe is not even expecting that. Now, if they saying the average is, 106-figure man, which we know is not. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Even he's not. I mean, I don't think he is suspecting that in no way, shape, form, or fashion. That's what's going down. On the back end. So, I mean, how do you protect yourself from that? You can't. The
Mm-mm.
only thing you can make sure is either that they swallowing or you taking it out with you.
Well, and here we get into the to something I've thought about where it basically says if you're a guy, if you're not married, don't have sex, right? Because if it's your wife, you don't really care if she get pregnant. That's the type of time you're on. But if it's not your wife or just some hoe, you don't really want her. And I think it's funny that that was something that I even heard other people talk about. But isn't it kind of funny how um, it's like now, women have a lot of sex, men don't really do it because it's dangerous, right? You can get false rape accusations. You can have chicks try to insert your seed into them, and I think the worst part is when it comes to just quote unquote hanging out. You're drinking with a girl. A lot of even, and they're mostly, well, not mostly, but even some pickup artists. But a lot of guys say don't even do anything with the girl. Don't try anything with the girl because she's had a bottle of beer, or a couple shots of liquor, because you can be accused. So now I'm thinking the only way to do anything as a man is to record yourself. whether it's secretly as far as just the audio, or whether you have cameras in your bedroom, because that's the type of time I'm on.
Oh man, my mind on surveillance.
Because it's not about showing other people; it's about protecting
Black
myself.
Knight.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're not going to say I did something I didn't do. And in this age of believe all women, men are stuck. So then you say you don't really know what we can do. So what if and this is like I'm Doctor Strange and we're in the mirror world. I control it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when guys just in majority stop dating women? Marriages plummet down to about 10% or at least 30% because of rich people, and guys only watch porn. What do you think
Well, I
happens then?
mean, of course. I mean, you gonna be on some what's my man name? Tesla. Some
God, jeez. Hold on. What is his name? Uh,
hold on, I got my man Dante on this joint.
who's good, Dante? Elon Musk.
My
Elon
bad. I didn't
Musk
know that joint was muted. My bad, dog. Much love.
You're
One thing.
was good.
you a little low. You can bring the mic up some.
Yeah, I didn't know the mic was on, but I see y'all later.
Okay, okay.
So you on Elon Musk, Bob?
Yeah, that's what my man Elon Musk was saying.
Yeah.
My man Elon Musk saying that we in a decline right now already on the kids.
Yeah. Guys are learning, man. The risk, like cut down the music just a tad. The risk is honestly a little too high. If I can't if I can go out and whether I'm wasted or whether I'm tipsy, if I can make decisions and choices that can negatively affect my life or even positively affect my life, what makes me different from a woman? And this leads into a sidebar conversation that would be: are women children? I thought women wanted equality. Equality means you have full responsibility of yourself, and any choice you make is up to you. And if you make a bad choice, it's just something you got to chalk up to the game. Guys understand that. If you're a guy here hitting on a chick, you say something and you immediately know, like, dang, this might make her not want to mess with me. And then she start messing with you, you chalk it up to the game. If you're a guy out here and you ain't BBCing it and you smash a chick and she don't want to get smashed again because you're not great, you go, well, I ain't throw it down hard enough, good enough, whatever enough, right? But when it
Right.
comes to chicks, it's well, now you took advantage of me. So a subsequent question for this whole crazy Drake stuff would be: are women children?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, they don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I think she was all about the bag, though. Shorty was all about the bag, but the other option that you got too is niggas can stop smashing. Niggas don't have to smash. All they have
Okay,
to do is just get the head.
come on, Bach.
That's
Come on,
it.
Bach.
Just
Come
get
on,
the
Bach.
headpiece. That's it.
You
And
know
keep
that's
it
not
moving.
happening. You know that's not happening.
Look, with a strange joint, you could just get the neck and keep it moving. And you can I know people who operate like that.
I got you. But most guys are trying to get the neck and then some.
Oh man.
So
Well,
I
I
feel
mean, for the
that.
ones who got somebody, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm sure Drake got a whole bunch of joints, and that's probably not his main joint, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for somebody like him, you know, is it really necessary for him to put in the work? You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Or
so
could
hold
he
on.
just be
Let me give you a pause real quick. Sorry to cut you off, right? They say Drake in Miami invites girl. Actually, he gets his guys to invite a whole bunch of IG thoughts. He gets his guys to invite him, and then he ignores them. He doesn't pay them not an ounce of attention. His boys recruit the ones that they think are good. He has them sign an NDA and or what's the word? Consent form to go back to his crib and do the nasty. So this is a woman that passed the consent test, and he made sure he got explicit consent, and then she tried to take his seed. Now, as far as guys not smashing, bro, the world exists because men want women. If guys aren't smashing, there's no more technology being made. There's no more Elon Musk. Because if it was just guys that were on Earth and we reproduced through random eggs that spawned, we would still be in caveman times. Besides guys who felt like doing better for themselves. Because guys inherently want to make the world as comfortable for women as they can. Because we care, whatever. Right? Something to strive for, work for. And to a degree, I wouldn't say we'd be in caveman times, but I think you get my over-exaggeration. My point is that we thrive because women aren't they're a goal, but they're more of a byproduct of success. If you're successful, women will be. They will come to you, all that. But if you the phrase is, or you chase success, women will come. You chase women, success will never come. So
Right.
So I hear you, but guys want to smash. You know how many men are going to be virgins by age 30? I believe it's like 30%. 30%, maybe 40%. And they say that about 10 to 20% of guys are smashing about 80% of the girls. So guys like Drake are taking up all the box.
Oh man.
What are guys going to do if a guy can get some strange, whether it's a strange mouth or a strange hole? I think he want both. Then you got the porn problem. Guys, the reason why it's such a crazy thing is because guys aren't getting laid. Porn would not be this popular if guys were getting laid on a bi-weekly, monthly basis. If a guy can catch a body a month or a constant girlfriend, he would take that over porn, but that's not happening. So, I guess the next question would be, in the situation of Drake, if you had to say someone's at fault, would it be Drake, the woman, or both?
Nah, it'd be the woman. She the one who was trying to pour the remnants in her. She's her fault. Well, he ain't had nothing to do with that.
I'm literally listening to women on men channels and women channels talk about how Drake did wrong too. He shouldn't have put the hot sauce in there. You know what I'm saying?
If he didn't, he would have another Adonis running around here.
Hey, he didn't want that. Hey, listen, talk to me.
He'd have another Adonis that he'd have responsibility to, that he would have to, take care of, pay for, whatever, and all because he wanted to slide? Nah, come on, man.
I ain't hiding the world from my kid. I'm hiding my kid from the world. You hear me?
Right. All because he wanted to spin the block. Come on now.
Come on, son. Well, I mean, I've heard that. So this leads me into my question earlier: are women children? And this is why, to me, everything comes back to a type of, well, I can't say everything. A lot of things that have to do with women come back to this equality feminist movement, because to me it just doesn't make sense. Women want equality, but you treat them how men get treated, and they want to be treated like women. Because inherently being a woman gives you a sense of, I guess you could say privilege, but it gives you a little advantage. And even being a woman in general is like being a hot guy. Being good looking gets you in the door, especially women. But if you're a good looking guy, it gets you in the doors too. Maybe get you a relationship. People like your face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get you a job, get you a promotion. People like the way you look. So it's already an inherent advantage being a woman, because guys want women, and it is what it is. But to me, this leads into other problems. So we can put the Drake on the back burner for a minute. And what happens when every guy turns into Mike Pence? Do you know the Mike Pence rule?
Nah. What's the Mike Pence rule?
Mike Pence, if any woman is around, he'll have someone else in the room to make sure that she can't say he did anything. Nothing inappropriate. Wow. Signing contracts, talking to her. He will not be alone with a woman, because
for real.
So what happens when guys, because and just to bring it a step back, guys don't approach women as often because even me, like 2 years ago, you hear that they don't like it. You're ruining their day. Why they don't want to talk to you? You're making them uncomfortable. But then you'll also hear women say, "Why don't guys approach anymore? Why do guys only inbox me on Instagram, Facebook, social media?" And that's because guys are adapting to the times. Guys are always slower. That's why the sad reality for me is when a woman calls a guy a dog, I'm like, he ain't a dog, but he may be barking. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a dog though. What he doing? He's taking advantage of the system. Women
Alrighty.
take advantage of systems. Guys are learning that they got to take advantage of the system, or at least to do the small things like sex. You got to take advantage of the system, and they start playing their hand. They get in shape. They learn some game. They get a mouthpiece, and then women are upset. And then that gets into the Me Too grape culture stuff, which there is no grape culture. But it gets into that where now guys, like I said earlier, won't pick up a girl that they get drinks with necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. People err on the side of caution. Guys not approaching. And guys even wanting to go 50-50 on dates because of how equal men and women are. So my question to you would be is, what happens when guys, the average guy, not a Drake, what happens when the average guy gets the Mike Pence rule? Nah, I have a camera on and I need you to sign this paper that consents to you being recorded just in case any false allegations may arise.
Mm.
I need you to
I
sign.
actually know somebody. I actually know somebody who was younger than the female who he was talking to. The father was a Montgomery County police. He got caught in the house. The girl said that she was raping him. He in jail right now.
Wait, what? The father locked up
Yeah.
his own son?
No, the father locked up the girl's
Oh,
boyfriend.
and he was younger?
Younger than her. She was
Because she
into
was,
him. Yep.
yeah, and because she
This
was
is this happened in Montgomery County too. Montgomery County, Maryland.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But you want to know
Yeah.
something crazier?
What's that?
Guys that are in high school, older women that are their teachers having sex with them,
Oh yeah.
getting them pregnant, the boy getting the adult woman pregnant, and then once they turn 18, they're on child support.
Wow.
What are we telling young men?
Wow. That's
What are we
crazy.
telling young men? You don't matter. You're a nut in money. So
That's crazy.
I'll let it sink in. Pause for the cause. Yeah,
I
man.
seen a commercial. I seen a commercial though
Uh-huh.
for a lawyer who was letting the men know that in the state of Georgia, if you are not married to the woman,
Uh-huh.
that you have no rights to your kids once they're born. And
Really?
that could be that your name is on the birth certificate, and also that can be that you are on child support for that child. You still have no rights for that child unless you fill out this certain form. Now I think different places call it different things. I forgot what she called it,
Uh,
but that's crazy.
yeah. Yeah. Men don't have rights, bro. When women walk around talking about how they're so oppressed and everything's against them, this is partially why I can't take them serious. One, because you have the most. Actually, this is why I can't take them serious at all. You have the most rights any woman has throughout the world. You can go to the extreme and say the Middle East, but you can also go to Europe, places that aren't Canada, Russia, Germany. These places are not. They're very traditional, right? None of this liberal stuff. And the fact that women say that they're so oppressed is ridiculous. And then you have the idea that men are just nothing. I can't lie to you. For 3-4 years ago, man, I'm questioning why I'm around. I'm like, damn, I'm just a penis and some money. I had sex with a chick and she ain't call me back. I'm thinking like, damn. I mean, I'm acting like the chick in this situation. Like, Shit, I thought we supposed to get married or some shit. I'm out here living the life of an old man.
Oh man, take
Somebody
it to
go,
the next level.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was the point. Women have full control over sex, cool. Men have control over marriage. So now men, instead of being constantly shitted on, they go out and they don't marry anymore. They have sex, they don't marry. Now I think marriage is actually a great idea. It keeps two sides, two parties, stops them from doing what their natural biology is. For a woman, is getting a man that's higher status, maybe more money, maybe even look better, as far as fitness. And it's a man not having sex with as many women as possible. But in this day and age, women leave men at an 80% clip. So why would a man get married when a woman can leave and then still take half his bread? If you're a rich guy like Dre, I mean, I'm not going to say 38 million is nothing, but it might not be nothing to you, and that's cool. But for an average guy, I've listened to so many stories where a guy is wrecked. He goes from making, let's say, 60, 70K a year. Now he's only making 30K living in an apartment because the wife takes most of the money for alimony and child support. On top of the fact that men can't eat. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Let's talk about child support. Let's talk about the court systems, the family court systems. Is that any way, any shape, any form fair to men?
It can go both ways, but a man has to prove a lot more than a woman does in the situation. So women can be on child support too, just as well as men can. I have a homeboy who, young, high school, got up with a chick. They did the nasty. She got pregnant. He wound up taking the baby and raising the baby. She went on about her business.
Well, that also works. And to be honest, if you're a woman that wants another man because you didn't think that guy was the guy, that's actually how the best way for it to work, because you're not bringing a kid into the relationship. But to me, I mean, bro, that's not the norm. I think the
That's not.
percentage is 80% or even 90% of women get custody of the kids just because they're women. I was listening to a Think Before You Sleep video. Shout out to him. And he's talking, and this lady who's a poor mom shows that she's lying, doesn't do the meetups, doesn't follow the agreement. The guy's still paying child support. Yeah, I mean, he still can't get custody of his kids. And this is why when I listen to celebrities, particularly black rappers or whatever, that whole they think they look at every woman kind of like their mom, so they feel bad and they speak a little different, blah blah blah. When they talk about all men need to get custody of their kids, like it's easy. I'm sorry, I can't put $100,000 into getting the lawyer, the fees, and my kid to then what? Be homeless? I can't afford it. So typically, women get the kids, and it's funny because what I hear from older people like the Kevin Sams, the lead attorneys and stuff, it used to be the opposite way around because women didn't have jobs and stuff for the majority. Women were with a guy, and if they divorced, that's why alimony is a thing, and that's why it made sense. But laws have not caught up with the times, and most women today, in my personal opinion, are moms, not mothers.
Oh man.
They just, I mean, listen to so many women from male platforms to women platforms talk about how I'm a good mom because I work, I go to school, and I take care of my kid. And if you break that down, that means you take care of your kid for like 3 hours a day. Because work and school, you already take up 8 hours for sleep. Work and school, work is at least 5 hours. School's at least 6 hours, 5 hours. So what are you doing? You're not doing. People think that taking care of a kid is enough. No, you need to raise a kid, install some values, some beliefs, something. But that's part of the reason why our culture is so messed up, and particularly with the 80% mom single mother rate. What can
Nah,
you
I
do?
see it all the time, bro. Hey, yo, one thing that kills me, like I saw this girl, and don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
she was pretty, she was cute, you know what I
yeah,
mean? She on her live stream. I happened to roll through on her live stream, and the thing that was crazy is like you could tell her whole mood and her whole vibe, and it's like she's trying to get the attention of the person who she likes or who's her boo or whatever. You know what I'm saying? While on the Instagram, and you could tell by the music she playing, and before she even said it, like you just knew she was in a mood, like she missed her boo and she wanted to see her man or the person that she liked or she attracted to, and it's like her son was there,
Yep.
or even if it wasn't her son, I think it was her son though, but even it was like a young male, you know what I mean? And it's like you could see him in the Instagram live stream, and she's like, twerking her butt onto the camera, and it's like, well, wait, what are you doing, like, in front of this little kid? Like, even when they are raising them or in their presence, I feel like they not like displaying the best quality of a woman. And I mean, I know that the kids are seeing this everywhere, because if you turn on any social media or YouTube or anything, like that's what you see. I mean, they got clips of it just running, it's just poison, you know what I mean, for the kids right now, as far as how to conduct yourself. So when you say that, raising them and being able to raise them, or being able, I mean, that's something that, doesn't happen as much as we probably like to see.
And you want to know the real sad part? That I know stories worse. You heard the kid that his mom was on OnlyFans, put it on her public Twitter, and then all his friends started showing naked pictures of his mom. And she was
Oh,
talking about how
wow.
her job is the same as being a firefighter or a cop or a nurse,
What?
trying to say that it's okay and justifying it to the boy. And he's a kid. He's like, I think middle school, maybe beginning high school. And he's talking about deleting himself because he's so sad and doesn't know what to do.
Wow, because everybody going on them.
Now, and you can go after this, but this is why if Mia Khalifa or Lana Rhodes in particular, because she's pregnant, when these women have their children, all these OnlyFans holes and all the thoughts on Instagram, their kids are going to be made fun of all the time. And the boys are either going to be fighting every day or wanting to commit the worst deed. Why? Because it is embarrassing for everyone to know what your mom looks like naked. And how's your mom going to come to the school? You don't want her to be around. Having a hoe for a mom is the worst thing for the young man, let alone the husband, because the kid cannot be his. That's another thing, right? Well, let's just say at least she's a good wife. She doesn't cheat. But her being a hoe on Instagram, OnlyFans, or a P-star, she is damaging the young man. And the young man doesn't know what to do because he loves his mom, but he hates her. He wishes she didn't exist. And that's bro, the next 15 years, 20 years, it's going to be crazy. Because you're going to have young men that aren't going to date. The numbers to me are going to dip off even more. And you're going to have a lot of young men. I mean, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think, let's say maybe a 10%, maybe 15% increase in young men deleting themselves. Because a lot of these young boys are being born as single moms that have OnlyFans, Instagram plots, and kids are ruthless.
Yeah. We got a comment. It says that it's BM now. And it says many young black women are not taught how to raise children properly. And I mean, that's true in a way. And also, I feel like it's a design, because that's the removal of the bread go-getter, the breadwinner, and to put in all that responsibility onto our black women, kind of force them out of the home.
What do you mean? Responsibility on the black woman?
Responsibility of working, responsibility of trying to find a way, make a way. And, some of them do, a lot of them have taken, opportunities or even advantage of the support system with the government, but the design where a lot of black men are incarcerated and in situations that aren't so great for our community kind of force the woman to actually have to go out and kind of get it, you know what I mean? Get an education so that she can get a good job, so that she can get paid, you know what I mean? Because of the options that she have.
I mean, I hear you, but for me, it always goes back to choices. Like, I love this example. Future is what? A dog, whatever, not a good father, blah, 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 right? Why? He has 10 baby mothers. Now, you have one irresponsible man, but you have 10 irresponsible women. The first woman to get pregnant, not on her, she ain't know, right? The second woman to get pregnant, it's like, well, he didn't take his first, but okay. But everything after the first and the second, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on, it's her fault. She just wants the bag. She doesn't care about the kid per se. She's doing what that woman tried to do to Drake. If one man is being a bad father, that's bad. But if 10 women are being bad moms, that's terrible. Women have the choice to open their legs. And I've told you this before in the podcast. If a woman says, go get a condom or there's no sex and she means it, if she's not going to let you smash, what's the guy going to do? He's going to go get the condom. Will he try to, hey, you don't need me to wear this rubber in the moment? Sure. But if this woman stays 10 toes down, besides in the air, right? She'll say no. If he tries any funny stuff, she'll stop. We can't keep going if you're going to take off the condom, blah, blah, blah. But my point is, unless a guy's doing dirty stuff like that, like she says, wear a condom, you take it off, she don't know. I don't think that's the majority. You know what I'm saying? I think, especially guys nowadays, it's hard for them to even, talk to chicks. I highly doubt they're going to, in their mind, well, not even in their mind, actuality, that they're going to break something like that. But it could happen. I don't think that's the norm. I would say maybe 1 out of every 10 dudes, if that, right? But my point is, women decide who shoots up the club or not. And if you let a guy raw dog you and shoot up the club, you cannot say that he's a bad father if y'all didn't want kids. Now, the guy is responsible for shooting up the club. He shouldn't have. But we don't have any rights after that. The only right we have is keeping it in a condom or not nutting at all. So I agree, irresponsible guy. But the woman, okay, Bach, let me do like this. You get a chick, you shoot up the club. And I'm going to give you 2 instances. But the first one, you shoot up the club on purpose, right? You didn't wear no condom, nothing. You just let go in the club. You say you don't want the kid. And she says, okay, right? If she gets pregnant or something, you don't want a kid. She gets pregnant, she tells you you're keeping it. She's keeping it. But you don't want a kid, right? How would you move after that? What would you think? What would you feel?
If I want it and she don't, or she want it and I don't.
She want it and you don't.
I mean, at that point, there's nothing I can do. But I'll be blown. You know what I'm saying? I'll be avoiding. I'll be trying to, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I'll be trying to make it happen so that, you know what I'm saying?
Now, let's switch it up. You want the kid and she doesn't. What can you do?
Oh, it's the same. Yeah.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, it's nothing I can do.
So the onus falls on the woman. The Roe v. Wade stuff, all that, our body, our choice stuff, you're goddamn right. And I pray that one day they give us financial abortions. Oh, you want the kid? I don't want the kid. Well, I'm not going to be around in the kid's life. But no, I never told you I wanted the kid. We were just having fun. And then the caveat I was going to give you as a side one would be, what if you're having sex with a condom on and you don't know it, but the condom breaks? and you bust. She say she on birth control. You took all the measures, she still gets pregnant. And y'all both said y'all were just having sex, no kids. It's the same thing. It all falls on the woman and what she chooses to do. You have zero parental rights, even though it's your seed. But because her oven is actually being cooked, she decides, cool.
Well, they actually say that it's supposed to be 50-50. Like, it's supposed to, and it's not even necessarily what they calling it is they trying to say it's not rights, it's responsibilities.
What do you
And
mean?
they're saying that the responsibility for the kid is 50-50 in that the man should have just as much rights and responsibilities or as the mom should have. But we see that it doesn't play out like that.
Never. Never. So
But legally it's supposed to be equal, even.
I got you because it takes two. That's why I hate that argument. Well, he did it. He nutted inside her, and you let him. All the women that are mad and bitter at men, and you can even say, well, now I'm the opposite side for me. It'll be a different type of scenario. So keep it what I'm saying. All the women that are mad and bitter at men because men ain't this or niggas ain't this. These are the same women that let men that were selling drugs, working
Scammers.
jobs. Oh my God. Part-time jobs making $15K a year, living in his mom's basement, no type of work ethic, nothing. Doing the bare minimum and letting those guys get them pregnant. Because he looked good, he fit an inch, he was BBCing, or if you're a different race, whatever, big dicking. They were doing all that, so it was cool. But now that you're pregnant, now responsibility take over. Oh, all men ain't this, or men ain't this, or men don't take care of their kids, blah, blah, blah. So all I'm saying is the world is coming to a point where men, whether they're aware or not, they're starting to go, wow. I think it's kind of dangerous to have sex with a woman or hang out with a woman or drink with a woman because if we have sex, she could say I raped her. And, I don't even know if that's an extreme anymore because what is it? I believe I can't remember the numbers, but I want to say at least 20% of grapes are false accusations, allegedly. Now it's funny because if you bring up the number, women like, well, cops don't do it anyway, but a number that supports them they'll accept. But I think it's about the math was done about 3,200 men are just falsely accused, and you keep hearing it go up and up, and men getting out of prison because of DNA testing and. I'm trying to tell you, it's bad, bro. And I think women and men should be women and men should be together because we are better together than we are separate. I do believe that.
I know. Did you see the last Matrix?
Nah, I haven't watched it. The newest one that dropped?
Yeah.
Nah, I heard it was terrible.
I mean, it was to that what you just said. Men and women are better together because that's what. To me, that's what that whatever they called it was all about. Like, apart, Neo and Trinity, they didn't do any like damage. I mean, they still could do their thing, but they were more powerful and made more change together than separated or than not being able to have that spark. And it was like when they touch. Like it was something about that part of the movie that sits well with what you just said.
And I said all that a little bit of a tangent, a long rant, just to talk about the comment. He said a lot of black women or black young girls aren't raised to be wives, and that's on the mom. The men can only give you the masculinity. Now, if you have a weak dad and your daughter's a hoe, I mean, hey, you tried, you failed, try again or whatever. Do what you're gonna do. You can't go back. But if your girl or your wife doesn't transfer what being a wife means, then if you have a daughter, she's going to get ran through more than likely, especially in the new climate, the new culture, or not really new culture, just more public culture. Cardi B, Meg, City Girls. She's going to get ran through. And it just is what it is. Hopefully somebody gives her a ring. But if she doesn't know how to be a wife, she's only going to get a guy making a certain amount of money. And you couldn't even get her with a guy making a lot of money because she wouldn't benefit him. A lot of our women go to school for useless degrees: communication, sociology, criminal justice. Now you could be a cop, but most women don't do anything with these degrees, and most humanitarian degrees make less money. A lot of women are business owners, but they're business owners with nails and hair. What, you're not changing anything with nails and hair. But then they want to look at the men and go, well, why aren't you around? Besides saying, why did I pick bad? Why didn't I get the guy that was my friend and loved me? Why didn't I give him a chance? Because nice guys don't win. It's just the way of the world now to me. And I already told you, man, I'm just going to run through some of it. I don't, hey, do your thug Dizzle, girl. City girls, we up, all that stuff. I don't care. It does not affect me in the slightest. I will wrap it up and take my seed with me. But it sucks because as a guy, I can do that. I can run around, get 300, 500, 1,000, 2 million bodies. And as long as I don't have an STD or the bug, I'm cool to get a wife. But for a woman, it doesn't work like that because she gets old, she loses her eggs, eventually she loses the capability of getting pregnant. And I love when we go, well, some guys do too. Sure. But men typically can nut and give life until they die. So, and this question leads us towards the tail end of our podcast. Looking for Tay, wondering if he's coming back. What is the state of the world in the next 20 years to you? Do you think that it's going to get better, particularly in our community? Because that's why I love it being the Black Community Podcast, because there is no Black community. I think this is the most ironic title because we don't have one. People argue this, blah, 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 but in the majority, once all the old people die, baby boomers, well, not necessarily Gen X, well, maybe Gen X, but, the silent generation, baby boomers, Gen X, I don't see a lot of the Black young men that I know are telling me they don't date Black girls. They're telling me,
and then the black girl, this shit was so funny. I watched this clip. The black girl was saying, I don't have, I'm not racist. I just, I deal with, white boys. Like, that's who I like. I like hot white boys. And like, this is how lost she was to me in her mind, though. Mm-hmm. She asked the dude that she's talking to, right? Have you ever hooked up with a black girl? Mm-hmm. And he says yes. Mm. She don't even look at herself as a black girl.
Bro, it's fun, bro. I don't even care no more. I can't lie to you. It is what it is to me, bro. It is what you cannot help this. Women push the culture, and women have been telling young girls, one of the reasons why Kevin Samuels is so popular. Black women have been telling young Black girls that everybody's Mister from whatever that movie is. I never watched it. Every Black man or even men in general is out to hurt you, or you can't get married and not have anything, or let a man take care of you because he's just going to use and abuse you and throw you away. So I hear the comment. I hear you. But it's up to the women to teach young girls how to be wives, cooking, cleaning, supporting their husband, him leading, her being the rib, understanding that there is a power dynamic. The guy will listen to you, but he makes the final decision because no ship has two captains.
Oh, man.
Even God had Jesus Christ. They are not the same. So it's just, it cannot work. And in our community, it is none of that. And this is where, I always talk about, so this is part of my family. I ain't gonna give no names or be too personal about it. But essentially, tragedy stricken. And the man's not being the man. He's not handling things because of pettiness or how he felt about things were handled previously with him. And I'm talking to my boy like, nah, bro, you get a family, you get a wife, that's what you signed up for. If you married a woman, she's not part of your family. And her family is also part of yours. You have to leave that situation. That's what you wanted. You get a girl pregnant, y'all ain't together, raise your kid properly. But they live together, but he's not handling the business. He's not doing what he needs to do to lead. And that's a problem to me. If you sign up for a kid and wife, you have to take the responsibility and lead. If you got a baby mama, maybe back in the day you would have married. Do I think you should get married? I mean, maybe if you want to, if you don't want more kids, if you don't want to better your life, sure. That's cool. I'm an advocate also for men starting over and just taking care of their kids, joint custody, if you can get it. Because child support sucks, one, and two, you should be in your kid's life. But if the woman that you're with is too crazy, I'm gonna look up a scripture, and she don't listen to you. You know what I'm saying? You can only do so much. You can't lead someone that doesn't want to be led. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know what I'm saying? You just
Right.
can't. So I say all that to say you gotta do what you gotta do if you put yourself in that situation, and that's where women are at. They put themselves in a situation of getting with a guy that doesn't want a kid, getting with guys that aren't good to even have kids with, that have bad values, but then being mad at men when the majority of men would actually want to be for their kids. Why I think some men, particularly black men, talking about how they should be able to stay home with their kid when they're first born. And I'm like, get out there and make the money so the kid has a roof. You can see him on weekends and holidays. Like I can't compute.
Oh man.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Nah, real facts, man. I mean, that's real talk right there. You know, I mean, it's about the decisions. Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. But again, the driving forces out here, and when I say that, I mean, the social media will put people. I mean, like right now, I've been catching a lot of like little memes and stuff that's like, fuck everybody else, fuck what everybody else got to say. Who gives a shit? Like, do you to the best ability of you and stop trying to look cool, be cool, all of that, whatever, because that's not going to get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? That's the trap for real. That's like just keeping you stuck in your situations that you in. So a lot of the girls be, they think that's what's cool. That's was cute. But it's all about. I mean, they know what they doing, man, because it's all about. It's a fight, because it's repetition. The repetition is the brainwashing. If they waking up every day and they seeing people shake their asses, or these new shoes come out, or and they are part of that. They want to be a part of it so bad, to be the cool kid, or to be the popular girl, or to be the pretty girl, or to be the the good looking guy. Like, everybody's in competition with everybody else when they just need to be in competition with themselves, and that's just doing better, each and every day of their life for their self, and I think that'll have a better outcome and a better sense of community as well, because everybody will be lifting themselves up in a positive way rather than forcing the competition with somebody else.
And I mean, you're not wrong. It is pushing the culture. And the verse I was talking about is funny because, black folks be the most Christian, non-Christian people ever. And I even fall to that category. I'm going through my own little religious experience to see where I'm at in faith-wise. And, that's a different topic. But Timothy, 1 Timothy verse 2, line 12, if I read that right, or 2nd chapter, verse 12. There we go. But I suffered not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence, right? And I love that, especially in our community, we're so religious, but women follow nothing from the Bible. Men will try to the protect, provide, provision, prophet, priest. Don't go out there and have a lot of kids, or actually it says be fruitful, multiply, actually, but essentially adultery and stuff. And guys cheat. Don't get me wrong. I think women cheat more than guys. There are more women on the earth. And if you a poll that they did, it was like 22% men and 20 like 21% women. But again, more women. But my point is that we don't black men and black women alike don't follow the scripture as much as we claim. But on the black woman's side, they'll take all the parts like finding a good wife or find a wife, obtain favor with the Lord. But you tell them that, they're like, in silence, you just don't want it, and start barking. I mean, bro, I go to a gym, bro. And the gym I go to, there's this black, she's light skinned as hell. This black girl. And I swear she's a chihuahua that barks like she's a pit bull. And I just look at her and laugh like, who are you talking to? I make jokes with her. Cool, whatever. But what is that mouth going to do besides oral? Who's going to deal with that long term? But a lot of young black girls from 18, and even the ones that are still in middle school, high school, thinking about boys or whatever girls do at that age. I don't have a daughter, and my sister's older than me, so I don't know. But what are they thinking that they're going to do with men, or how they're going to treat men, and where men are going to accept said treatment? Where do they think that's going to happen? And that's the problem. They think men want to hear them barking, and we don't. It's not about being silent, but shut up. Give a second. Breathe. I just got home. I just need 25 minutes of silence. Can you do that? Well, no, because I've been doing this and I've been doing that. No support. You can't get peace of mind. And that's the one thing men crave. And that's why I look at some of the men in my family and go, damn, bro, you got to go out there and get something better for yourself. But then I realized, just like women and men, you can't help people. They can only help themselves. So the Black Community Podcast, I think, is great because we talk about issues that plague our community, but these are also issues that we can never fix. We can say things, you might preach here and there, but we can never fix the community because our women aren't behind us. They would rather be in front of us. Why is Barack Obama's wife, Michelle Obama, so well known and talked so much, had a speech? Melania Trump stole that speech because in my mind, she didn't want to talk about nothing. But the one black president has a woman that was damn near in front of the president. And she was just the president's wife. But she felt more of a president than he did. Is that not crazy to anybody? And I can't get over the fact that we can't work together, but I see more men trying to work with women than I see women trying to work with men. And that just shows you the day and age we live in, where women don't quote unquote need no man. Yeah, that's because you got a fire department. That's because you got a police department. What happens if the world breaks down? What happens when a man wants to take something from you and you're a woman? All these women that swear they can fight or blah, they think they Black Widow. That's a movie. Shit ain't real life. You mess around and get slumped out here. At worst, great. Because a man, 9 out of 10 times, and even if you want to be polite and say 8 out of 10 times, could rock a woman's world, mess up her whole day, and in a world of chaos, her whole life, make her a slave, and there wouldn't be nothing she could do about it. But we live in a day and age where they're just so free. So I've accepted their freedom. I've accepted who women are, what they want, how they want to live. Don't want to be with a man. And I think it's great for me because, like I told you last time, there are going to be a lot of women that are over the age 35 looking for someone to love on them. Slide into there, you know what I mean? And then slide right out that mother. A woman who wastes her beauty and youth, it's over for that. I've said all I can say. DJ Bach, you got something else, bro? You're muted if you're talking. But yeah, man. It just won't work. It's not good enough.
My bad, dog. I was just talking so long, I didn't even know.
Oh my God. You're out here fumbling the bag.
Hey, I know. I was just rapping, dog. Where did I leave off at?
You weren't talking for the past 2.5 minutes, bro.
I know. You remember where I left off at?
Nothing. Bro, we were talking about. You said something about. Nah, I don't even know. You said one sentence and cut out. I thought
Oh
you
man,
said-
nah, man. So what I was saying was, is I felt you on what you were saying. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And the way that they have to, choose to voice themselves or be boisterous or act out. And that's one thing that I said I haven't really seen. I haven't really seen too much of the African American experience
Mhm.
displayed, because I mean a lot of it is like TV and all that, but I haven't really seen it displayed in the movies like that. And then I was making a reference to 300, the way that he and his wife communicated and made decisions and everything, like it was amazing, man. Like, and you don't often get to see or a black woman, or maybe I haven't watched it myself or tapped into those movies or that content to see it, but that's something that I think they need to learn how to be positive, be affirmative, and all of those good things without having to feel like they can talk to you like I mean, we just had this conversation not too long ago about men and women in sports
Yep.
and competing on it, like we know what's good. I mean, just on a regular,
Yeah.
just that's just how it is, you know what I mean? So for them to feel like that, it's just crazy, but I don't know why, but that's just the way that they feel like they need to do it. And I mean, it even runs in my family where, I mean, our family, where people talk like
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like, come on now, like it's no way you're gonna be able to do anything to me, no matter what. Yeah.
Hey, bro, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, but Jordan B. Peterson made a statement, and it goes along the lines of men show force through aggression, fighting, right? Women use the same type of force, but in the way they speak. So they try to say things that cut low. I don't really know of any insults besides, you got a small dick, you don't got no money, you're broke, you're ugly, you're bald, blah, 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 right? That's the type of shaming language that's used, right? You're insecure, small dick energy, yeah. So, it's just sad because that's the culture. I mean, every Medea film is the rich black asshole. Then she goes to the loving church going street nigga. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, that don't make no sense. Why is every rich black man an asshole? And they all get white women. Like, that's not reality. Only 30% of men with bachelor's degrees date out. 80% of men are married to black women right now. Now, that number will drop once a lot of these older folks die, right? Whenever, whether it be 5 years or 10 years. But the black community will fall into the abyss because black women will not get cuffed. They're not. Black
Man, it's
women,
crazy, man.
they have poor dating and mating, let's say,
Rituals.
attitudes, rituals. Yeah, it just doesn't work. What are you about to say?
Nah, man, that's crazy, man. That what you saying is because I just wanted to one, give a shout out to my homeboy, man, who recently just passed away, Tony Brown. But the struggle's real, man. That's what was on my mind. And but watching his father and mother, be married and be together for all the time that I've known them, you know what I mean? And there's a group that I'm currently working with, man, and it's like all black women, but all of them are like single with like with like 4 kids though.
Yep.
Like, how are you deciding to be single with 4 children?
Yep.
Like,
That's
what's going on?
that's because I mean that's because they'd rather be baby mamas than married. That's because they would rather have kids than a man because they know they can't work with one. And from all the male centric podcasts I listen to, Fresh and Fit, K Sam's, even the O'Shea's, NTRs, it's all women talking about wanting kids but not men. And Kevin's been getting on it recently about it, and it's just the way of the world, man. Particularly in our community. Now there are some, white. I don't. I want to say Asian because I. It's rare to see an Asian girl that's a hoe or even really talks crazy because they're married at a 70% clip for a reason or 65, whatever. And the Hispanic girls you see, because they're like 54% married or might be 60 or closer to 60, whatever. But point is, you see it more prevalent in our community because they're the most unmarried. They
Now,
try.
this is my question to you, though. This is my
Well,
question, bro. This is my question, right? If all of these women are like not getting with us, I mean, is does it come a point where it's something that we're not doing right, though?
well, in majority, I would say no, but I would play devil's advocate with you and say, okay, the guys that aren't doing right to me are the drug dealers, scammers, more the guys that aren't even trying to make 40K a year, the guys who aren't trying to get a better job, more promotions. So okay, there's a subgroup of men I think need to do better. Also, men from the age I want to say 18 to 29, they could do better too, but I'm not on them as much because that's the process years. From 18 to 29, you're figuring out what the hell you need to do, what type of man you're going to become, what type of job you're going to get. So men after 30 are typically when they even start to think about marriage. Because from 18 to 29, we're just trying to let loose for the most part. Some guys carry that into their late 30s, maybe early 40s. Hell, if you already been married, maybe 50. But sure, there are men that need to do better. My problem is the stats don't show it. I mean, the fact that most of us, or more than half of us, are in the middle class, more than half of us are single and childless, and more than half of us are making 40K a year minimum. So if that's the case, men were down bad when war on drugs was happening, and we've brought ourselves up. And you'll always have people who aren't that great in any community, but to keep it on us, yeah, there's some black guys out here ain't doing a goddamn thing. We call them pookies and ray rays. We call them hobosexuals, the type of men that sleep on a woman's couch or her bed and just have sex with her, giving out, as women would say, phenomenal D, so they get to stick around. We call them losers. The difference is we actually call those men losers, or we don't look to them for anything. The problem is with the women, you have women looking up to Cardi B's. Cardi B did not have a child until she was married. Meg the Stallion probably lied on Tory Lanez, and she has a drinking problem, right? Beyonce and all her single ladies was married as fuck. All the black women that pass a culture of wholeness are all married. And then the ones that aren't married are just a younger generation. So could we do things better? Sure. I will never sit here and act like men we're just some perfect, because we're not. Men will cheat. Men will do what they want, especially if they don't have a lot of options. And then they run into some chicks that's down. Oh yeah, he gonna cheat on your ass. I think that even if you're not, as the buzzword now, be a high value man, but if you're not a man making a lot of money or whatever, if you're going to cheat on your wife or your girlfriend, take that shit across town, cross state lines. Have a white bitch in Idaho, a Hispanic bitch in Colombia, an Asian girl in Taiwan. But don't cheat with your next door neighbor, then expect your wife not to find out. So I think we can do better in areas that are the guys that are from drug dealers to guys who want to stay at their mom's house their whole life. But I think in majority, because even 51% of us being single and childless, and even 64% of us being in the middle class, that's still more than that's the majority. The majority of us want families. I mean, until about, I still want a wife and kids, sure, but to me, that's 10, 15 years down the road. I just don't care about it now. And if I can't have it, it won't make me sad or mad, nigga. It is what it is. right? My mom wants me to have kids more than I want to have kids, but we can't. Men, okay, let me put it like this, nice and succinctly. I think men can do better on the lower end, but I think as you go up the spectrum, men cannot progress any further because women don't want to be with us in general. They may pick the guys on the lower spectrum for fun, sex, or whatever, the adventure, the thrill, but they don't want to be with the average guy working a 9 to 5, coming home to her every day. That's not what they want. And I think it's sad because all the young men, besides the ones that don't want to date black girls, I know a few that want black girls more. I know some that don't even date any girls that aren't black. But all the black girls that they've run into, only want them to have sex with them, and they're kind of confused because they're a little not aware. Or they try to get in relationships and stay with them long term, and they end up leaving them because they're too nice, or I don't know why you love me and I'm so mean to you, type stuff. So, do I think black men can do better? As I said earlier, sure, but I think the majority of us are doing a okay. I'm a guy who's out of shape, getting myself together, getting my money together, getting my career together, but I'm 18 to 29. I,
All
I'm not
right.
expecting to be a husband. But women think that that same thing applies to them, and it doesn't. They always say women mature faster than us, but they don't act like it. And that's why, to me, I accept your question: are women children? And to make it a question that's easier to answer, would be why do women need so much help if we are supposed to be equal? And before you go, to me, the answer is because we've never been. Go ahead.
Oh man, yeah, man. I mean, they do say women and children. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
you know how the world was built. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
how it all came together. Now that they, have their choices. This is the path that they
Yep.
choose to take. So, I mean, what do we do? Get
Nothing.
with it, get gone. Leave it alone. I mean, the future, I mean, I feel like it's an isolation thing anyway, where they're gonna try to isolate everyone, not just you know this certain specific group. But with that said, I mean, they making a claim on it and a stake on it, in our community, especially in the black community, with the black women, and through the support and things that they've done, and it's really taking a toll on us, as far as a community. And once we can get them back with us, man, it's gonna be great things to come. But until then,
Well, but
we
that's the
gotta.
harsh question I think you got to ask yourself. What is it going to take for them to come back with us? I think it would take a world war. I think the world would have to break down for women. I mean, I think it would take women getting murdered and raped before they even realize they need men. And that's the sad part. I think most men understand. No, so, oh my God. How about that? What do you think it will take for them to need or claim to need or want whatever men, black men in particular?
Hmm. I mean, I think what they need to is to really understand that that's is the ones who are there for them specifically. Once they figure that out, because right now they think they have so many options. But once they, like you said, once it come down to somewhere, it's like, okay, bang, this is who I gotta run to. Like, this is who, you know, and don't get it twisted, because I mean, family is family. But when it comes down to it, it's gonna be, who are you going to come to? Like, are you going to go to the Caucasian group, the Asian group, if it was to come down to a war and it was like that, where everybody was going to where they fit in, that, like, where you going? The African American group. Like, you gonna get to the other spot, they're gonna be like, hold on, wait, nah, you don't belong here. So when they understand that, that's
Well,
that we're here, for
and,
them.
and to me, that's the saddest part, bro. It takes catastrophic events like coronavirus and people freaking not women having to go to the stores and get stuff themselves, while white, Asian, and Hispanic men are out there getting stuff for their family and wives. And that wasn't even enough. but there's just too many women. They're not all going to get married. Invest in Chewy because there's going to be a lot of women out here single, putting dogs in strollers, and
Oh
me, a
man.
lot of women that don't have kids, particularly in our community. And to me, it's just so. It's so sad to me because I watched my grandma not have nothing, die with no one to care for besides me. But I mean, a husband. Her husband died years ago, never remarried, just by herself, and that was the most pathetic, saddening, embarrassing shit I've ever seen because she was sad and embarrassed. Couldn't do shit for herself, needed everybody's help, and she felt some way about it because she couldn't just rely on the man next to her, not a husband, and not a put together family. And if you look on my block, the put together families all got men in the house, husbands. So all these women that are I could do battle by myself. I don't need no man. I make money. I mean that's cool because men need women too. If you're not making money, eventually we'll age up, but men won't care about dying on the streets. We die on the streets anyway. We go to war and die anyway. We die homeless all the time. But as Kevin says, bro, it's going to be a day when you see a whole bunch of homeless black women, and there's already one up the block from my house at
Mm.
a grocery store asking for money, and I tell that little, I ain't got it because I don't have it. Why don't you have a man? Why didn't you try to use your beauty to come up in a non-abusive way? Besides using men for just money, sex, or buy you stuff, and that's it's just sad, bro. So when all these women start getting older and older, dying alone type stuff, it doesn't make me feel any remorse, any empathy, any sympathy because that's what they chose. It's way easier as a woman to find a husband than it is for a man to find a wife. A man must become to find a wife. A woman must be to find a husband. And most women will rather be by themselves. So I let's flip it on its head for a second. What do you think men are going to do without women? I'm saying guys that don't get married. What do you think the average life of an old man who's just, I mean, he can still be out here getting laid every once in a while. He's not getting laid that consistently, but they don't even get laid like that in marriages, to my knowledge. The point is, what do you think an average day would be of a 45-year-old man with a decent job making 60K a year? Um, well, above average job, but what do you think a day in the life of that would be and contrast it with a woman? Because I'll give you the woman real quick, looking at her phone. The random guys that hit on her, she entertains because she ain't got shit else. Ice cream, TV shows, a lot of girls not out, and she even still has friends. And by girls not out, I mean she invites her girlfriend over to drink red wine and talk about how bad their days are, and then going to sleep. What do you think the man version is?
Oh man.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. I know you want to.
Oh man. I mean, to me, I just think it's just gonna be a whole bunch of porn and a long life.
Nigga, nah. He 45 going out there, going to clubs. He got the gray going on. He going out to bars, trying to pick up chicks because he has a little extra income. And he may not succeed. He may succeed every 1 out of 10 chicks. But guess what? He can still get a chick to go home with him. And that 45-year-old may get a fish every once in a while, but for the most part, it's GG's. And this is why I love it. Let's move to the Kevin Samuel age. A nice 52. A man with just residual income. He went from 60K to about 75, 80K. He above average. He in the top 10% now. And all he does, he has a nice little townhouse. And all he really does is his work and go to the gym and pick up chicks. My only point is that the guy can still pick up a chick that's 27 years old, 25 years old. And if he wants to go as low as 18, I mean, I hear those older guys always say they don't want to. But if he wanted to go down to 18, only the woman would judge him. But that's only because they couldn't get him.
Oh
So,
man.
so what are we talking about?
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think?
real. That's real.
And I'll end it on this. Women, go out here, find a good man, suitable man, a man that wants a family, and get married. All your problems will be solved. You can get a career after you guys have your stair-step kids because you're so young. And once they grow up to like 10, 11, you go out there, you can go on the internet and look for nursing jobs or tech jobs, even though they don't do tech, or hairstyling jobs. But that is not how it works.
Whatever does it for you, huh?
That's all it does. And for the guys to be the same, find a woman that's not crazy hoish, because every woman got a body. And it's not about finding a virgin, but it's about finding a woman that's not going to. I'm sorry, I'm going to bring up another conversation. I would get a paternity test no matter if I was married or not. That's facts. You know that 30% of men are raising kids that aren't theirs? That's an actual stat. You can look it up. 30%. That's 3 out of 10 men. You might be that 3. If your girl got a baby daddy before you really might be that 3. She might have gone back to her baby daddy, got a little something, and came back to you because y'all were on a break, or she was mad at you. That's why dating baby moms or single mothers is a risk, because the guy that got her pregnant is always around. And if you marry her, it's a bad look as far as if she goes back to that single father, the guy that got her juices flowing. So, man, I've said all I can say. Go ahead, DJ Block, take us away, man.
Man, y'all know what it is, man. Black Community Podcast. Tap in, share, comment, like. Y'all know what's going on, man. We sharing the reality of what's going on, man. Be a part of it, man. Add some good content to us, you know. Talk to us about what you feel, what you think. You know what I mean? We have these conversations to get the whole view on what you see, what you feel, and what you think, man. Black Community Podcast. It's your boy Big Bach, King Khalil in the building.
Yeah.
We back. We back next Thursday.
8 p.m. starting. See y'all then. Check in. Send me some Instagram. Call me a misogynist. Do what you want. Just do it first. Run it by me, because I am the king. See y'all next time.